Hey there. Hey, gosh, it's so good to see you. I'm gonna have a seat here. Is that okay? I got my lunch. Girl, I'm doing so good. It's not even the new year yet. And look, I have some New Year's huh? Oh, no. I don't mind. I don't mind sitting here. I don't mind at all. Well, I know there are other places I could go, but this is just such a cozy corner talking to you. You know, can I say something? I see you over there working, and all day long you're over there, your phone's ringing nonstop. People are coming by and asking you stuff. You got people just, asking things of you all day long. And I saw you sitting over here, and I thought, you can't leave her over there in the silence like that. It's just, I couldn't do it to you, have you sitting over here all by yourself in the quiet. So, honey, I don't mind. Anytime I see you in here, I'm going to plop right down with you so you'll have somebody to talk to. Yes, like I was saying, I'm doing so good this year already. Do you have New Year's resolutions? I do. I want to be more sustainable. So, you know what this is? This is a double-walled reusable water bottle. Hey there. It's got 2 walls in it. That makes it really good. And I have a reusable napkin. I think this is a new thing they've come out with. Like, you can wash these and use them again. Can you believe that? And I'm being healthy too. I'm going to be extra healthy. Look, I brought a salad. Well, I think it's recyclable. I mean, yeah, I think you could probably recycle that. And see, these are good because these keep the turtles from getting their noses plugged up. So that's it. No, I don't think so. No, it wouldn't be straws. It was all the plastic water bottles that was going up the turtles' noses. I mean, what? Well, then people just buy those metal straws and think about how painful it would be to have a metal straw to go up your nose if you were a turtle. No, this keeps the turtles' noses safe. Yeah, and I got water in it. It's not whiskey. And so I'm being extra good with my diet. I got my Santa Fe style salad here. So it's like it's exotic. And I did cheat a little bit. I walked by the little counter up there by the refrigerator, and somebody had put out some leftover Christmas candy. Okay. Don't tell the diet police, but I got a candy cane. That's my cheat for the day. That's my cheat. That's my cheat right there. Unless I walk by the vending machine. And I have these crackers. I mean, it looks like somebody beat on them with their fists, but I think they're okay. I found they're Captain's wafers from Lance. And I also have my Life is Good. This looks like a paper bag, but it's not. It's a reusable bag. Look, like the inside of it looks like outer space. Look at that. It's like something from Mork and Mindy. It's very shiny. It's a reusable bag. And it's made to look like a paper bag, but it's not. I got it on Amazon, and it says Life is Good, and it's a total trademark infringement, but it's so cute. It's not actually made by Life is Good. I don't have any Life is Good stuff, but I think you have to own a Jeep to have any of that stuff. And I drive a Camry, so, I mean, I don't think I'm allowed by law to have any. So, whoa, you got some interesting choices for lunch. Can I look? Are you pigging out today? Guess you haven't started your New Year's resolutions yet. I don't mean to pry. Do you have any New Year's resolutions? No? Well, that's all right. Hey, life is short. You know, if you want to eat like that, nobody's stopping you. Well, now, see, I don't normally bring stuff like this, but there was an incident. Yeah, new girl that works in the mailroom. Honey, let me tell you something. She looks like she was born about 5 minutes ago. And, she said something to me the other day. Now, this is a perfect example of people who are just oblivious to how they affect other people. Now, this girl, how old do you think she is? What's her name? Amelia. How old do you think Amelia is? Her name just does not come out of my mouth right. I'd say she's probably about 20. Probably so. Well, anyway, Amelia, the other day I went in there to get something scanned. I need it scanned as PDF, and I said, Amelia, can you take care of this for me? Because, you know, Linda, my supervisor. No, not Linda B. No, Linda J. It's not Linda B. Linda B is in accounting. Did you hear about her? I'll tell you about that in a minute. So anyway, I went in there and I said, Amelia, can you convert this to a PDF for me? It was a hard copy, and she said yes. And so she put it in the machine. You know how they do. They put it in that big machine. And I don't know how it works. It just works magic. That's all I know. I love it when it works. And so she puts it in the machine. And she's standing there, you know, and she starts looking at me. And she looked at my shoes. And she said, well, your shoes look really comfortable. And I said, well, they are, thank you. And then she goes, my grandmother has a pair of shoes just like that. They look like sensible, comfortable shoes. And she kept saying it, like emphasizing how comfortable they looked. And I said, well, they are comfortable but stylish. She said, oh, yeah, sure, yeah. Of course they are. Yeah, my grandma looks really cute wearing them to bingo. And I'm sitting here like, you know, maybe I am old enough to be her mama, but I mean, that's just insulting. So, you know, I started thinking, and I started to have this identity crisis. It wasn't even 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm sitting there doubting my existence. And I said to myself, like, am I old? Would you say I look old? Am I frumpy? You know, because there is nothing wrong with reaching a point in your life where you can want comfort and style out of your footwear. There is nothing wrong with that. Doesn't make you old. I mean, you could reach that point at any time. And it just so happens that at some point, I have reached the stage where I want comfort and style for my footwear. I want both. I haven't completely ditched the style yet. Now, maybe in 10 years, we won't worry about the stylishness aspect of it. Is that a chocolate-covered pretzel? That looks really good. But I'm being good. I'm being healthy. This is my only cheat today. That's all I'm doing. I got my water, got my salad, and my little Captain's wafers. They are a little bit pulverized, but they'll be okay. I can just snort them like cocaine if nothing else. You know, so I'm sitting here thinking, have I gotten old? Have I become old? So I decided it was time to rejuvenize myself. It was time to invigorate myself. And that is why you do not see me sitting here with my regular stuff. No, I did not go down the street and get something nasty. I got a nice little salad here, and I got my water. And that's my lunch. That is all I need. A little salad, little water, trip to the vending machine later. See, that counts as steps for my Fitbit, just going to the vending machine and back. And with all the water I drink, I'm going to spend all day going back and forth to the bathroom. You probably don't want to hear about that while you try to eat. Oh my gosh. Have you just had the craziest day today? I'll tell you what, this week between Christmas and New Year's, there's hardly anybody here. I mean, I'm surprised you're here. Sometimes I feel like you dodge me. You ever feel... You're not doing that. I know you wouldn't try to avoid me, but... You know, I feel like, you know, I hardly ever see you. Have you been working from home? Well, yeah, I've been working from home too. Working, yeah, sleeping. And every now and then I just, you know, wiggle the mouse, make it look like I'm doing something. Don't tell Linda I said that. But as long as I get those reports in, she doesn't care. As long as I get my work done, if it takes an hour or 20 minutes or whatever. Yeah, so I decided I would try to invigorate myself, and I'm not even going to wait till the new year to do it. I got started 3 days early. So I've got my salad. And see, I started watching. Have you heard of this show? There's this show, and I think all the cool kids watch it. I bet Amelia watches it. It's called Keeping Up with the Kardashians. And it's kind of a long title. Have you heard of that? Well, apparently it's this family. And they have an interesting past. I'm not entirely sure what it's about, but it involves murder anyway. So I thought, if I want to be like the youngsters, I better watch what they watch. And from what I can tell, they like the show. And I haven't watched a lot of episodes of it yet, but I have to say my favorite episode so far was the one where they all got in an argument about something I could not relate to, and then they went somewhere expensive. One thing I have noticed on this show, they eat a lot of salads, and they shake their salads. There's Amelia. Look, I want her to see me shaking my salad. I gotta look disinterested. I don't want her to know it came from Aldi. I want her to think it came from Whole Foods. Don't let her see the front. It's not doing anything. Look, I am young. I'm youthful. It didn't do anything. Everything's still in compartments. How do they make it look so easy? I think mine's defective. Anyway. So I thought I would just start having some salads. And if I watch the show and I shake my salads, you know, I can convey youthful vigor. And that's very important. You know, I don't want to come across as some stodgy old coot. That pretzel's looking really good. Are you going to eat that? Well, I mean, you know, break room calories don't count anyway. So if I could just, you don't mind, do you? What if I just taste it? I could taste it. Oh, well, I mean, I don't mind giving it back. I mean, I can just try it. I won't put my mouth on it. I mean, I just handle it and break it. Like, I could just break a piece, and if I don't like it, I could just, you know, give it back like a warranty kind of thing. How about that? I didn't touch it. You're not going to get COVID or anything because I didn't touch it. Ew. Do you make these? Trader Joe's. Is this dark chocolate? Oh, I don't like dark chocolate. Well, I broke it off. I gotta eat it now. It's hard. Is it stale? Did you let these go stale? Well, it wouldn't last in my house long enough to go stale. That's not bad. It's not bad. It's just left over from Christmas. It's actually pretty good. It doesn't matter though, because I could eat this whole thing. Salad cancels it out anyway. So it's science. You can't dispute the science. You turn it upside down. How do they make it look so simple on the show? I must not have spent enough money on it. Maybe I need to fast. You tried fasting? You know, I could try that. You know, they talked about that on that mindfulness retreat. No, I didn't go, but I heard about it. We know who did go on it, though. Clara. No, marketing. She's in marketing. Clara. You know, well, she's that one that walks around looking like she's always smelling something, and she only speaks to certain people. Have you noticed that? Because she'll speak to everybody but me. Everybody on my hall, she'll come down the hall and say hey to everybody. She will. Everybody on my hall, she'll speak to them. Good morning, good morning. She comes by me. She won't speak. I could look right at her and say, good morning, Clara, and she'll just look right past me like I'm not there. She doesn't know. She's not hard of hearing. I know she heard me. Now, I am not imagining things. She doesn't speak. Anyway, so she's all highfalutin and full of herself. So she went on this mindfulness retreat. It was mostly upper management, but there were some other, you know, underlings like you and me. I mean, we, you know, some people like us, some mere mortals were allowed to go, but you had to pay for it. Now that part tastes stale, like extra stale. Maybe I'll eat this instead of the salad. Yeah, I'll save this for later. I'll stick that back in the refrigerator. So Clara went on this thing. Now, see, the thing was the marketing budget. It's apparently part of the marketing budget to do this mindfulness retreat, and they were at Camp Carefree. No, it's outside of town. I don't know. It's like an hour from here, heading on up towards the mountains. And Clara went. But if you were not part of upper management, now I didn't think this was right because upper management didn't have to pay to go. They covered that. But if you were not part of upper management and you wanted to go, you had to pay $150. I wasn't paying that. You know, if I want to do trust falls and make wicker baskets, I can do that at home for free. Clara went. Guess who else went? Mike. You don't know about them? Girl, you have been working from home too much. See, my workload is down right now, and I've had to come into the office more since about mid-October. And honey, this one morning, you know the janitor, Ross, you know him? The real tall guy, you know, he's got a beard and he's always outside smoking. Well, he told me, he said he came in extra early one morning and Clara and Mike were in the janitor's closet and they were not looking for bleach. They probably should have been when they got done. There ain't enough wet wipes in the world for that, honey. He's nasty. You don't need a penicillin shot just shaking his hand. He's done a lot more than shake hands around here with a lot of the women. Let me tell you something. Not me, though. I'm married. You know. No, Stuart's got a hold of me. I can't do anything with him. I have to keep him on a short leash. You saw him at the Christmas party, didn't you? No, that's right. I kept trying to talk to you, and it seemed like you were always a step ahead of me all night. Every table I went to, it seemed like you just left. I kept trying to find you because I wanted to talk to you about the wrapping paper that we're selling to church for a fundraiser. But you just took off like you saw me coming. I know it's probably just a coincidence, but I wanted to introduce you to my husband, Stuart. But then I made the mistake of introducing Stuart to the bartender, and then I didn't see him anymore the rest of the night. And then he ended up spiking the punch, and then Linda found out. Oh, yeah, right. So Clara and Mike went on this retreat, and so this is what I heard. I can't really say who I heard it from. It was Jerry. And so they had these cabins, and they were all lined up around this lake. They had this lake, you know. And what are you drinking? Is that Pepsi Zero Sugar? Oh, no, I swore off caffeine for the new year. It's not the new year yet, though. Have you opened that? Can I just get a little sip of it? I don't have cooties or anything, but I'm dying for some caffeine. I haven't had any in like 2 days. And I would surely, I mean, maybe there's some in this chocolate, but man, is it cold? It's cold. You know, I noticed you didn't give me anything for Christmas. I'm just saying, I left you a Bath and Body Works gift card. I did. It was in the Polar Bear Christmas card. Had the Jingle Bells taped to it. That was me. Oh, you're welcome. But I did notice a present deficit on my desk. Thank you. You're so sweet. I just love it. So they had these cabins, and they were all lined up on the lake. Oh, sweet nectar. That is so good. I just can't quit it. I'm sorry. Well, they had all the women in like 3 cabins. They're kind of big. And all the men in 3 other cabins. Well, there was a smaller cabin back in the woods that was not being used. Well, it wasn't supposed to be used, but I heard there were lights on in that uninhabited cabin down in the woods during the night. And there was some rock and roll coming out of that cabin. And you know what else came out of that cabin about 3 a.m.? Clara and Mike walking together hand in hand back up to their respective cabins when they thought nobody was looking. But see, Linda B was up late playing Candy Crush. They were all supposed to be asleep because it was lights out at 10 o'clock. But she was sitting out back smoking a cigarette and playing Candy Crush. Oh, honey, you didn't know she smokes. Well, you didn't hear it from me, okay? That's why she wears so much perfume. And she's always spraying that Banaka stuff in her mouth. You know, that stuff that was popular in the 70s, but apparently they still make it, that breath freshener spray. Yeah, she was out there having a cigarette playing Candy Crush. And she saw them, and she turned on the light on her cell phone, and then they saw her, and she had to turn it off real quick and run inside. So they probably know somebody saw them, but they're acting like nothing happened. Honey, they're both married. And not to each other. I know this place is scandalous. And so, honey, I keep to myself. I tell you what, you know what I do? I come here, I work all day, stop by the grocery store, go home. That's my life. Taking care of my dogs and Stuart, and sometimes I get them mixed up, but they don't care. Is that Pocky? I'll trade you a used candy cane for it. I don't know who brought these in. It was probably Mr. Clark. Yeah, bless his heart, he's so sweet. But ever since his wife died, it's like he just doesn't know what to do with himself, and he's so old. But he won't retire. He's like 400 years old. And he comes shuffling in here every day. I know you see him. Well, it's mainly on my floor. I guess he doesn't make it down to where you are too much, but every day he comes shuffling in here, and a lot of times, bless his heart, he'll bring in stuff from home. But see, his wife was a food hoarder, and she would buy stuff, you know, like after Christmas, candy and food and stuff on clearance, and she would just, you know, stick it wherever. And so these candy canes, look how warped it is. It was probably twice that big 20 years ago. This could be from 1978 for all we know. Did they shrink wrap candy canes back then? I don't have any idea how old it is, or what flavor it is, or I don't know. It might have been 3 times this size when it was first made. But I picked it up because it's sweets, and I love my sweets. I mean, it's going to be my downfall. But it's not January 1st yet, so I don't have to technically do anything good yet. I figure anything I do good this week, just bonus, just extra. Oh, there's a siren. They're coming to get you. Oh, you're busted now. They done caught up to you. So you say you didn't make any New Year's resolutions. You gonna make any? You got big plans? No, me neither. I'm not going anywhere. We'll probably just sit at home and fall asleep in front of the couch. It's pretty much all we ever do. Sometimes I'll stop by Aldi and get some Winking Ale. You know, that wine they have is like $3. I get some Winking Ale, have a glass of that, and then fall asleep and wake up in 2024. So that's about it. No, seriously, but would you consider a trade of this gently used, 1 careful owner, possibly 2 candy cane for that Pocky? What flavor is it? Oh, cookies and cream. Ooh. I like the chocolate. You have any chocolate? Just plain old chocolate. Man. I'll trade you this. Oh, no, take it. Are you sure? Well, I mean, I'll give it to you. There's nothing wrong with it. It's got plastic on it. I mean, plastic makes everything better, except for the turtle's nostrils. Do you think this would go up their nose? Like when I peel this off, is it going up a turtle's nose? We don't have any turtles around here, so, I mean, well, other than like box turtles and snapping turtles, and everybody hates snapping turtles, so I don't care if anything ends up their nose. They get up my nose. You know, I had one try to bite me one time. I was trying to go fishing. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. No, yeah, are you sure? Okay. Well, I do appreciate it. You sure you don't have some of the chocolate? No, I'm beggars can't be choosers. And my mom always told me that. She said, now listen, you can't be so impolite all the time. I don't know how to open it. How does it open? Well, these have funny looking. They look like, what do they look like? They look like little candles. What kind of cookie is that? I don't know. You know, these are so small. I bet they don't have any calories. They're tiny. How can they? Look how little they are. I'm enjoying all your little snacks. You know, for the Christmas party, we were all supposed to bring something. They had an open bar, but we were all supposed to bring food. What'd you bring? You made those meatballs. They were so good. Was it the kind with the grape jelly? So, honey, they were so good. I had to get Stuart out of them. I bet he ate 20 of them. He probably would have just floated on out of here on a meatball cloud if I hadn't have stopped him. And I don't even know what that means, but he was in ecstasy over your meatballs. Let me tell you, he told me, he said, you need to find out how to make these. Well, I said, well, any dingbat can do it. The recipe's online. Not that I'm calling you a dingbat. I'm just saying I could do it because, you know how I am. Would you like these crackers? Would you, I mean, they're not completely broken. Look, it's mainly just the one on top. You want them? Well, I'm going to put them in my bag. I'll save them for later. You know, so you did the meatballs. Did you do anything else or just bring that? God, I bet you had to have a cart to roll that thing in here. That was a big old crock pot thing. Is that your crock pot? That's nice. That's real nice. Where'd you get that? Yeah. You know, one time I bought a TV at Costco. That's it. That's the story. It was kind of bugging me. And me basically called me old. And so I'm trying to be more, what's the word, bougie? I want to be bougie. So, I thought, what do bougie people eat? Do they eat? I don't think they do. But when they want to look like they're eating, they go out and they buy all this stuff and they make these charcuterie boards. It's like a board and it's got charcuterie on it. Like, you know, it's got like olives and meat and cheese and crackers. So I was not familiar with the charcuterie culture. So I went to Food Line because it was the closest store. And I was just not prepared. Maybe I should have done a little bit more Googling before I tried to make my own charcuterie. Because I went in there and I wasn't quite sure what to get. So I walked back to the lunch meat. Because I remembered there's meat on it. And I went back there and I found Lunchables. And I said, well, shoot, charcuterie's not anything but Lunchables. So I just bought a whole bunch of Lunchables and I just took all the stuff off of them and I tried to artfully arrange it on the board. Yeah, but people seem to like it. I mean, they were eating it. I heard somebody say the ham was slimy, but I mean, it's a Lunchable. What can I do about that? It's like the law. The ham has to be slimy. I spent a lot of time drinking that night. We had to get an Uber home. You gotta go. Well, I just got here. Well, okay, I don't know who I'm gonna talk to. I mean, if you're going, can't you stay a little longer? Because I still got a little bit on my lunch hour. I don't want to go back to my desk. Who am I gonna talk to? I sit over there, and all I have to talk to is my supervisor. Sometimes I get the feeling she gets tired of talking to me. She stuck me over there in the corner by the file cabinet. I'm trying not to take it personally. Well, listen, whatever you do, don't use printer 136. You don't want to know why. I just said you don't want to know why. Well, I'll tell you anyway. All right. You know Michelle? She's that girl from the, I forget the name of the company. That company that comes in and fixes our copiers and stuff when they break. Michelle, the other day, she came by there and she was putting some stuff in the shredder. And, the shredder's right near my desk. And Michelle said, your printer over there is messed up. I said, which one? She told me. I said, oh, yeah, I know. You have to slap it repeatedly to get it to work. And she said, well, I'm not surprised. And I said, what do you mean? And she said, well, that printer, we've had a lot of trouble with it for the last year. So what are you talking about? She said, to the point where we've had to do so much work on this printer, we started to think it was being sabotaged. But we couldn't quite figure out why anybody would want to sabotage the printer. And so we started looking at camera footage. They got cameras around here everywhere. They record everything we do. They're probably recording us right now. They conceal the cameras so you can't see them. They had a camera right over that printer. So they went back. They had the security guards pull up some of the footage on it because it malfunctioned again, just out of nowhere. Turns out that poor printer has been through a lot. I mean, a lot. Bart. You remember him? Well, no, I know he's not here anymore. That's why I was asking if you remember him. The runner, yeah, the guy that would run it, like the courier stuff. Bart and Amanda. Oh, yeah, that Amanda. Bart and Amanda apparently had discovered that printer was the perfect spot for relations. And the reason you had to bang it repeatedly to get it to work was because it had been banged on repeatedly at work. And they have been they had been getting together at night when everybody was gone. I don't know if it was like a thing for them, like the fear of getting caught was exciting. I don't know. Don't use that computer though, or don't use that printer. Don't, because they got it to working again, but now just the thought of there could be juices on it and stuff. I don't know. Yeah, don't use 147 down the hall. It's the same kind. It just send your print jobs to that, because that poor printer has had enough trauma, and Lord have mercy, who knows what's been on that glass. Just don't put anything on it. I can't imagine. But I know you gotta go. But thank you for my drink, and come by my desk sometime. We'll go out to lunch. That way you won't have to deal with any silence on your lunch hour. I would hate that for you. But yeah, thank you again for my Pocky. Thank you for my lunch. This is a very well-balanced meal. You want my water? I don't want it. It just suddenly doesn't appeal to me very much. Okay, yeah. Just let me know when you want to do lunch and we'll get together again. Okay.